Merry Christmas 2022. Heading into 2023, right? Not too far away, another year. Another year of interesting media, interesting politics, all of it setting us up for tomorrow. You would think, setting all of us up for tomorrow, not just a specific few that, oh well. So, raw materials, source materials, raw goods, and the industries that provide them. There's this big capital C chemical industry, which under that falls petroleum goods. Under that falls minerals, because they need to be processed and purified somehow, so there's some chemistry involved in all of that. There's a fundamental understanding of chemistry, interesting history of the folks that learned it and used it and use it today. It's part of their ethos and their life, this chemistry thing. They might work in a chemical facility, they might work in a testing lab. There are lots of operator positions in those places where people use instruments to do measurements. They're private, they're collegiate, they're research, they're institutionally or federally funded. These are big things, doing measurements on finite things that are very hard to understand the need for. So one day you walk into an IC manufacturing facility for one of the biggest names in manufacturing chips, and there's an instrument in the back room that checks, that verifies the quality of the materials coming into that facility, the qualities required. There is a chain of custody for the materials. Chain of custody seems to be a big topic with folks nowadays, but there's a chain of custody with high purity materials, because when you pay for them, and it's a lot of money, you need to ensure you get what you paid for. So you'll spend a $300,000 to $500,000 investment in a lab instrument capable of telling you what you're buying. Very specific instrument designed to test for very specific elements and isotopes within those magic materials that make up integrated circuits. This was a career, traveling in and out of facilities like that. It's part of a career. It's a building block to another career. But in that, you realize the importance of these raw materials. From a weapons materials testing lab that the Army, now it's been privatized, used to run in a place that you can't find on a map anymore. Ultra high purity testing, high purity materials. 3 years making about 1/3 of a plasticizer that the world uses, called phthalic anhydride. In that world, in that life, in that universe, you walk into the facility every day of work with high pressure vessels, high temperature vessels, up to 600 pounds steam. Worse if something went wrong in some of the controls to keep it at 600 pounds. Steam being removed from an exothermic reactor, generating way more heat than it needs. So the waste heat is scavenged as steam and used to run that plant and another one. This is the life of chemistry. It surrounds us. It's a global endeavor. The corporations that do this have offices across the globe. Many of them came out of the weapons, the military might that's bragged about across the world. That chemical industrial complex makes the weapons, supplies the electronics that the engineers rely on to build the weapon systems. Can't deny the funding that the American people have put into all of these things. Thinking for better, of good intents and well wishes. But the constraints, the rules around them, the use of them, the rules of engagement. There is a conversation about tactical nuclear weapons, which were enabled and started production or building or design. I don't know which level they're in, but I think they're out there. Tactical nuclear weapons, what would that mean? With weapons that are 10 times more powerful than bombs we dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. This is engineering. This is what humans have done. This is where we are. These industries are global. These industries have the ability to set the rules for health and safety because these rules are not true or false, as in so much of life. So this ability to measure parts per billion, this is what's allowing the Hubble Space Telescope to do what it does. We're beyond parts per billion. This was my world 30 years ago. We have evolved our technology, our ability to measure. The conversation about pollution, about the environment, has been nearly totally. So, our media, driven by Twitters. Peace is out. Stay warm.